That's going to be it. John Calipari heads to midcourt. Road wins. Hard to come by in the SEC, and Ole Miss just got a big one.
-X-10.
Bobby Portis, the magic man, arrives just in time.
9.
Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
8.
Wilson will keep it. Nobody expected that.
7.
You got to get out of here. Bobby Portis with a go-ahead home run. Oh, my goodness.
6.
And that is Ken Hamlin.
5.
Number 5, you better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
4.
Look at the moves by Woodson. Tough shot.
3.
Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts.
2.
This is for Armstrong that goes down and makes a nice catch.
1.
Arkansas gets it right back. Council, and he lays it in.
This is The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 9 to 11 with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
That's going to be it. John Calipari heads to midcourt. Road wins. Hard to come.
Radio with you each.
You don't even have to wait all day. Yeah,
I know.
Even better. Yeah. Hey, we're brought to you by APAC Arcola. If you need gravel, sand, concrete, aggregates, if you need concrete for your driveway, if you got a big project or a small project, APAC is the company to call that can get everything you need put together. Help you design the project, all of that. We're going to be telling you more about some of the other things. We've been telling you about jobs and opportunities. Hey, we're going to tell you about some of the work that APAC does coming up over the next few months, and I'm excited after visiting with Murray and Doug and Ted and the crew over there. They have got a lot of neat stuff in store for 2025. So if I know it's getting ready to snow. Hey, you might be thinking about sand for your parking lot, to have a little traction out there. They can provide all those materials. APAC. Right here in Northwest and North Central Arkansas, big and small jobs, they do it all with APAC.
So just to replay what Cal said last night.
We're not there yet, but we'll get there. Just have faith in these guys, and don't leave them.
Where is there? The NCAA tournament, competitive at home, which they were last night, just didn't result in a win against the top 25 opponent. I mean, we're 2 games in, and they've lost to Baylor, they've lost to Illinois, they've lost to Tennessee, and then they fall to Ole Miss last night, 73-66, the final. What are your thoughts on this basketball team? 877-377-6963. Tommy, I know there was overreactions after the Game 1 loss in Knoxville, but I don't know if you can necessarily say and jump to the conclusion of overreaction after last night. Does anyone have confidence they're going to bounce back against Florida? I don't. I hope I'm wrong. But after what you've seen in these first 2 SEC games where Boogie Flan doesn't look like he can be the guy that they need him to be as the Arkansas point guard, there's plenty of other guys that deserve flack, including Coach Calipari. I'm not going to single Boogie out on this, but do you feel confident about the Florida game? Do you still feel confident that this is a rock-solid NCAA tournament team? Again, this isn't a situation.
What are you asking me? Are you asking me, do I think they're going to win? I mean, what are you? Tell me what you're asking.
I'm asking you, does your opinion change after last night? Is it it's like if you want to make a sweeping statement, I'm not saying you have to, but again, there was an overreaction after Game 1. I think you and I both agree that. I don't know if it's an overreaction after last night. I think people that have worries and have doubts in this team, bring them in because
you need to fire
they're
some
warranted.
people. Is that going to fix it?
No.
We just fire somebody.
But I'm just saying, like the fans, like we've been led to believe, and you do have a Hall of Fame coach, the third one in the history of this basketball program. But this isn't a Hall of Fame team. This isn't a team worthy of a Hall of Fame coach right now. I don't know if it's a coaching issue. I don't know if it's a player issue. Yeah. But like, I've been critical. I'll jump on myself. I've been critical of fans not showing up. Why would you show up for that? Are you kidding me? Like, why are you showing up for a team like that? Why would you show up for a team? And it wasn't that great of a crowd. Why would you show up for a game on Saturday when it's going to be, again, weather and everything else? Maybe I need to relook at myself when it comes to that statement. Because, again, you're 0-2, and I hope you can get out of this hole. You got 2 games next week that are winnable and whatnot, but I got no confidence they're going to win this game on Saturday.
All right, pump the brakes. Let's take this one at a time, okay? Calm down a little bit. Are you? Because you're wadding crowd.
You speed it up.
You're taking the crowd issue, which I don't think the issue that maybe you think it is.
The size is not.
Let's talk about basketball. Let's talk about defense, because if you want to have some concern, I'm not ready to panic. Do I have some concerns? Yes. I think defensively there are some real issues that have to be solved. Can they solve them? Do they have the players to solve them? I think so. I don't think this is a team that's going to be in the top third of the league. I don't think this is a team that's going to compete even at their best for a top 4 seed and a bye in the conference tournament. But, Ty, I do think this is a team that can still finish in the top half with a 500 record. Not the way they're playing now, but I don't think this is the finished product. But defensively, that's concern number one of mine is defense right now, because that to me is where these first 2 games have went wrong.
Okay, so, and that is a concern worthwhile. And again, jump in with me, Tommy, Colton, at 877-377-6963 if you have an opinion on this team. They are 1-4 against good teams this year. 1-4. If you don't count the Kansas game, you want to include that you're 2-4. That's fine. You're 1-4. You lost to Baylor. You lost to Illinois. You lost to Tennessee, and you lost tonight. The one win I'll give you is Michigan in Madison Square Garden, which was awesome. But like defensively, Cal's teams, Tommy, over the years, it's their offense that needed it. With the exception of last year's team that was horrid defensively in Lexington, it's the offense that usually picked it up in favor of March. But they're behind defensively, like you just alluded to. That's what I think is concerning if you're an Arkansas basketball fan. And I think Bo made the point this morning that I was unaware of. This is the first time he's ever started 0-2 in the SEC. Cal made the point last night that he think it's going to be harder than he thought it was. I'm paraphrasing. He said something of that nature. I don't know the clip, but it's like it's going to be harder than I thought it was going to be because the SEC's better. So here's the deal. Cal has had slow starts. I read them off yesterday. There's been plenty of slow starts in the last decade and a half. You can't have a slow start this year because there's going to be 10 to 12 teams that make the tournament.
What do you mean?
And I'm saying like a continuance of this is what I'm saying. So like you can't afford to continue on this trend. Or the NCAA tournament, even with marquee teams on the way, there's not enough wins for you to get. Not because the competition's not there from a net or quad ranking, but a net and everything. But you're just not going to beat those teams. Like they're not going to turn around and all of a sudden win like 10 of 12 down the stretch or something because the SEC's too good. Like you brought up the formula. What'd you say? Go 7-1 at home.
7-2.
7-2.
He played 9. 7-2 at home. 2-7 on the road. I think they can do a little better on the road if they get it together at time, because you went through the road games. There's about 4 very winnable games on the road. So maybe you win 3 and you can go, 6 at home and 3 on the road. I think this is I think the ceiling's probably 10 or 11, but I think closer to 10 after last night. I heard Dane Bradshaw talking with Chuck and Bo. This is probably a team that he felt like, and I don't want to, parrot his words, but he said just below 500, but a tournament team. If you still believe 8-10 is going to get you into the tournament, and John Calipari does, he knows more than any of us. I think 8's the floor you got to be at to be a tournament team. But 9-9, I think you got to try to win 7 at home. You've given up one of your 2 losses that you kind of budget for right now.
All right, let's get into our opening drive.
Problem.
And get some texts and some calls this morning.
A rich man that wants to finish first in a race and he goes out and buys the most expensive fast car, don't finish last.
Is Coach Cal coaching in the same manner he's doing everything else that it appears that he's doing?
Anytime that the momentum could have been flipped, it seemed like the energy on the bench was really low.
I had so much hope for this team this year.
What did they go from 3? 1 for 13?
I just think it was a bad hire. I thought that from the day one. I hope I'm wrong.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
So those were some calls last night on Hog Reaction. Let's take one this morning. I'll filter through some texts as well. Brent's up first. Brent, you're on the morning rush.
I want to tell you what, I've never been so discouraged with Razorback basketball in all my life.
I wouldn't go that far, but okay. Go ahead.
Can I introduce you to John Pelfrey?
Oh, gosh.
Maybe could
Yeah, this brings me back to John Pelfrey era.
Oh,
okay?
please.
All right,
and that was the worst era we ever possibly could have had. Okay.
See, now this would be leaping. This is what I was talking about, Brent, following the Tennessee game. This would be leaping to a statement and conclusion that is not anywhere where it actually is. But continue. I don't think Tommy and I can get on the same boat with you, but continue to row.
I just want to know, because we're supposedly get the best talent in the country, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly, Cal. We get the best talent in the country, and it doesn't seem like great talent does not make great teams. And it seems like right now we got 5 individuals out there. And when when the leader of the ship goes 5 for 20, you're not going to win many games. So how do we stop that? How do we keep from every year being in an 0-3 hole before we get going in conference? And this is the wrong year to start 0-3 because there's no guaranteed victories.
So that's a broad question. Brent, appreciate the call. 877-377-6963 is the number you can jump in with us this morning. So Boogie Fland, unfortunately, his first 2 SEC games is 10 of 25. 10 of 25 in his first. No, that's not even right. 10 of 35. Yeah, 10 of 35. So that, like, if he's going to get the allotment of shots, and Coach talked about him a little bit last night, he's got to shake it off. He's a young freshman. You want him to, again, get into it a little bit and hopefully have success because they're relying upon him and everything. Tommy, you're just not going to win that way. Here's Cal on him last night.
When you haven't made a shot, why are you doing that? Create a shot for a teammate that they can make. And I couldn't get him in that mode. And again, he's young. He's trying to figure this out. All of a sudden, you play like that, your life passes before your eyes. It shouldn't be, but it does. Just calm down. This is a long season. You didn't play well. You didn't shoot well. So we move on.
And Brent alluded to the staple of Eric Musselman teams, which they did start slow, but they ended with some tournament wins. I mean, Tommy, what do you do to get him going in this 10 of 35 stretch, hopefully heading into Saturday against the Gators?
Well, you're talking about Boogie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think one thing you need to get going is John L. Davis heating up a little bit more. I think that, and we saw some flashes last night from him and the near 30 minutes he played. I was more than pleased with the way he performed last night. 4 of 9 from the floor and gave you 15 points in 30 minutes. It was a -6 on the plus minus, but I think that's one part of it. I think part of it's just maturity with Boogie, but he does have to create more opportunities for teammates, as Coach was saying there. He had 5 assists last night, but don't be taking shots when you're already undersized compared to your defender. Find someone else you trust to put the ball up.
Well,
and I think the other thing is this offense is too stagnant at times. I mean, I'm no Jimmy Dykes. And I'm not going to sit here and break down X's and O's. I know just enough to be wrong, but we can all watch and see them. They come up the floor, they cross half court. The defense is pushing them outside the three-point line far too often. Dribble, 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 dribble. Shot clock's at 10. Dribble, 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 dribble. Take an ill-advised shot with 4 on the clock. That's happening too many possessions, too many half-court possessions in the ballgame.
Well,
am I wrong about that?
No,
or am I right about that?
First half, there was a lot more cutting. I mean, Cal spoke to the difference.
And that's why they won the first half more or less. They won 15, 16 minutes of the first 20, and then Ole Miss closed in the last 4 or 5, tied at the half. What changed from the first 15, 16 minutes of the game to the last 25 or so minutes of the game?
Well,
I think it's – yeah, go ahead.
Here's what Cal said.
Ball moving.
Yes, the ball was moving.
And the guys cut. Mm-hmm. And when we stood, we weren't the same. And that's why I said we'll watch the tape where we were in the first half and then what we looked like in the second.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't close.
I mean, you got your big drawn out way too high. How many times did Adu have the ball above the free throw line? And then they would do it on the other end. Ole Miss, there was that one possession, and there's more than one, but there was one that stands out in the second half where he tries to give some help side defense, leaves his man at just above the free throw line near the three-point line, and then they backdoor Arkansas.
Yeah.
How many wide open backdoor cuts and that was one of the things that, Chris Beard outcoached Calipari in that moment last night. They opened up that back door, and he realized where the bread and butter was last night. And they just massacred Arkansas.
Same with Tennessee, the communication. And you mentioned, again, you don't have to be a basketball whiz. You don't have to be John Wooden to, understand that, hey, the ball movement wasn't as good. in the second half comparatively to the first. Like, that's it. I mean, you just heard it from Cal right there. So I don't know what the adjustment is. Just hope it comes. There's no rest for the weary because you're playing another ranked team. While you get them at home, Florida is, again, an offensive juggernaut so far this season. They put up 100 against Kentucky, 70-plus against Tennessee, one of the best defensive teams in college basketball. I think same score that Ole Miss scored on you last night. So you're going to have to bring it on both sides of the floor. We'll see if they can do that. All right, let's get through some text. We got a call from Brent. Let's get through some text. Ryan in Prairie Grove just says they're lazy on defense. He likes watching Theo dunk. That's really the only thing. Adu had a good game last night. He was 7 for 12, I think 17 points, if I remember that right. So, I mean, another really solid game for him. You just didn't get enough offensively from DJ Wagner and Boogie Flan, who would have combined 8 of 33 last night, under 25%. That's not going to hit it done. Austin texted in saying it's not time to hit the panic button just yet. If we are still playing like this going into February, we can sound the alarm. That's his viewpoint. We got about 3.5 weeks till February gets going. That's when he feels like you can really get into it. Now, Cal did say last night, Tommy, I want you to tell me if you think this is the correct statement, because I really don't. I don't think they're a good shooting team. But Cal talked about that he feels like they have been.
We've been a good shooting team most of the year, last couple games. And most of them weren't guarded threes. They were unguarded threes.
To me, they've been a good shooting team against the lesser competition. But outside of that Michigan game, when you look at Baylor, when you look at Illinois, when you look at Tennessee, and when you look at that game last night against Ole Miss, they don't shoot the ball well. And last year's team was an outlier for Cal. Cal's never had these prolific three-point shooting teams for the most part of his tenure in college basketball. He hadn't had to. He's had the best players. But the way the game has changed and expanded, I just wonder if this team has enough floor spacing. Like John L., you mentioned, he had a good game last night, 4 of 9 for 15. He needs to continue to have those games because really outside of that, and Big Z's had that ankle thing he's been dealing with, there's no one that you're scared of if you're Chris Beard or Todd Golden this Saturday that's going to light you up from 3.
Well,
and you got to have that in today's age of college basketball.
Yeah, and, Big Z was injured and didn't play in the first half. Only, how many minutes he ended up with? 4 minutes. Coach Cal talked about that after the game. You need him in there as somewhat of a if you're going to extend if you're going to get extended by the defense and you're going to have him out there, you need him there because he can shoot some threes. But what was that? Malik Dia, that big zero. How many times did he hit that set shot? I know he hit a couple threes last night. Set shot, open three, bang. I mean,
7 of 12, 21 points, and he averaged, I think, 7 on the year. I think he averaged 7 on the season, but he 2 of 4 from 3 and got some good looks. Because you mentioned Jonas Adu helping earlier. Jonas would help on these ball screens, and Dia would just be at the top of the key with no one within 10 yards, 10 feet of him, and it was just like.
Let me give you one other thing I noticed and thought of, kind of wrote down last night while I was watching the game, is Arkansas produced, how many steals they produced last night?
2.
All right, scroll. You look down at your fast break points. How many did Arkansas have last night? 4. 4 fast break points last night. Why is that a big deal? Because you're playing at home. And when did that building get to its loudest? I think it was Thiero that had the dunk early. They should have had 6 fast break points. Well, he had the one dunk, and he had the one that he missed that was incredible. But my point is, Ole Miss is not a team that turns it over a lot, but in that building, when you're at home, you got to produce some of those transition points that lead to getting the crowd on their feet, to getting them loud, to giving them the home court edge. Because when does the crowd always get to its loudest? When the ball's stolen, you go in transition, and it produces a highlight dunk in wide open space, and the building erupts. Mm-hmm. We didn't have enough of that against Ole Miss, and that's why the crowd was way too quiet. I didn't think it was way too small. I thought it was way too quiet because the plays that you needed produced in order to get the crowd on its feet didn't happen.
Chris Beard did a good job of making sure that was what Ole Miss wanted to do throughout the game last night. The turnovers, keeping that at a low number. Ole Miss only finished with 5 turnovers against the Razorbacks. You got to get that number up.
That's the gas on the fire, man. That's the gas you need on the fire is the fast break points, and you need 8 or 10 of those in a game. You need 4 or 5 of those moments spread out to really keep the crowd amped up.
All right, plenty more text to get to as we roll on this Thursday edition of the Morning Rush. That is your opening drive, brought to you by First Financial Mortgage. Ethan Adamson can help you with your mortgage. Maybe it's your first time. Maybe you want to go to a different route this time around. Maybe you want to refinance. First Financial Mortgage has 90 years in the mortgage experience. He has over 10. Him, Emily, their entire team can help you. And you don't have to just take it from me. Over 300 5-star reviews on Google. Ethan might be the best lender in town and might be the best golfer, too. Give him a call at 479-72-9300 or online at ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
So how much is it going to snow? I mean, I've seen, and when's it going to start? I guess I know it depends on where you're at, but I've seen so many forecasts and so many different versions of what's getting ready to happen. I guess when it snows, but you know, I'm in Northwest Arkansas. It's not supposed to happen till like tonight. Over across the north part of the state, but then down south they may get a foot. I don't know what to believe right now.
So we got 3 of us. What's the number? Well, pick a city and we'll guess it. You want to just say Fayetteville? We'll say Fayetteville. How many inches does Fayetteville get, Tommy?
2.
Just 2? Colton, how many inches does Fayetteville get?
They're supposed to get a pretty minimal amount. I'd say 2. I'd say 2.5.
Okay, I'll say 4. I'll go on the high side. But you hope, again, it's across the state. It's not just in Arkansas. You've got snow kind of in bordering states as well. Just be safe when you're driving today. We'll keep you updated when the weather does change. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get to the show tomorrow. I mean, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Well, if you get stranded around Northwest Arkansas, you can get a room at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800. Call Jennifer. I did that this morning to say, hey, can you put me a room on standby? May need it tonight if you get stranded. They're always there for you. If you're planning a trip for a basketball game, or maybe you're already looking at that baseball schedule, or you've got a birthday, you got Valentine's Day coming up too. Now's the time to call and get your reservations. Big oversized suites, convenient location. Love the Inn at the Mill. 479-443-1800. 479-443-1800 or online at innatthemill.com.
Chris says 10 inches in Little Rock, Tommy. I didn't realize it was that much.
It's going to be worse. This is weird because the further south you go, the worse it gets to a point.
It's usually the opposite. All right, we continue on the Morning Rush, your hog update. You're going to hear more from John Calipari, his thoughts on the 73-66 loss to Ole Miss last night.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Arkansas football coach Ken Hatfield, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Ty, that's the $1 million question.
This is the Morning Rush. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
With the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, luxury is all in the details. A cheesy gordita crunch with the crisp bite of a crunchy taco wrapped in a pillowy flatbread. A beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned beef stacked on velvety melted cheese. A crunchy taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. All for just $7. Live Lux for less today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude free tax extra.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
We got 9 guys. They all got to give us something. They all do. You can't have 2 or 3 of them lay an egg. We're not that team.
Yeah, they don't have enough to do that. That's John Calipari talking with Chuck, Z, and you on the radio last night following Arkansas 73-66 loss to Ole Miss. Tommy, he did get some good games. Deuce Thero had himself a good game. I thought John L. Davis shot the ball well. He was 4 of 9, gave you 15 points. But then you look at the box score, didn't have good games from Boogie Flander, DJ Wagner, and as much as they have the ball, Tommy, they've got to be more efficient when it comes to shooting it in these SEC games from here on out.
Well, I mean, what part of their game right now doesn't have to get better?
That's fair.
I mean, and I'm not hammering on. I still think this is going to be a respectable basketball team. It's going to be a tournament-worthy team when it's all said and done. Cal's been warning this is going to be a slow start, but
yeah.
I think defensively is the number one area you've got to see more improvement. And then the ball, some people say get stuck. You can't get stuck on offense. We can start trying to analyze this and sound stupid. But, in the end, they can't let opponents continue to push them out defensively beyond the three-point line with at least 4 and sometimes many half-court sets, 5 of your players last night. So offensive movement and defensive switching, communication, seems like when they have to get help side defense and switch off, Ty, on the defensive end, they get exposed and way too many backdoor cuts that were wide open last night.
We brought up Big Z a little bit, got 4 minutes in the second half. He was banged up once again. Here's Cal on just kind of what he's dealing with.
Z was hurt, didn't practice for 2 days. I had to ask him at halftime, if we need you, can you give us some minutes? I was happy that he gave us what he did.
It wasn't a lot in the second half, but did spell Jonas a little bit and some of the other post guys. And again, Arkansas continues to have injury issues, Tommy. This was unfortunate. This has been the result of this 9-player rotation, I should say. I said it before. I didn't like this idea. I think in season it's unfortunately just going to continue. I don't expect with the physicality of the SEC that injuries to lessen. I think it's just part of the game. And once again, they're having to deal with it just like last night.
Yeah, and how do you have intense physical practices to get better and then not have more injuries? That's the slippery slope right now. It's kind of like working on tackling with your defense once the season started in football. Well, there's a risk to that. So, just seems like they've never had a period where they've had their roster all healthy and they can work together. And I think the results of that are showing up right now on the floor.
On the lighter side of things, Cal, Z, and Chuck were joking last night about snowplows in Northwest Arkansas.
Let me say this to the crowd. It's going to be really bad the next couple of days. You're going to have snow hitting you about 6 o'clock. Make sure whatever you're doing it in the morning, and then stay out of this stuff. They tell me we have no
plows.
snow. We have no plows?
We got a little bit. We got a few. We don't have a whole lot. Yeah, not as many as maybe we'd like.
You see any plows on the side of the road ready to rumble later on this afternoon, Tommy?
Well, as I was driving to the Springdale studio this morning, I passed one. A snowplow making its way up. It was at about Greenland or so, maybe between West Fork and Greenland. So, yeah, they're already out. You can see that on 49 that stuff they put on the road kind of ahead of it, that salt brine or whatever it is. You can see where they've already been spraying and treating the roads ahead of this.
Clearing the way for Derek and Zach to make their way home, right? I mean, if of all things, after their show today, we want to make sure that they have safe passage to their homes post-show, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently, Derek's already, I don't know if I can even make it in tomorrow, is what I was told.
Well,
I think everybody's going to be just fine today. It's tonight where we got, now further south may be an issue, but I think everybody in Northwest Arkansas is going to be just fine till the end of the day.
All right,
I can't believe schools are already out.
I was going to say, let's talk about that.
Unbelievable. That's soft.
That's your hog update, and it's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888.
All right, so let's talk about that. You're a parent. Laura's a parent. We got a lot of parents listening to the program, and it's not just a Fort Smith thing. Several school district pockets across our state have decided, you know what, we're calling school off for tomorrow. Has anyone called off for today or early?
Fort Smith's not going today.
What?
Nothing today.
What'd you say, Colton? Say that again.
Fort Smith, Van Buren, Alma, tons of schools aren't going. In Greenwood, I think a bunch of them are closed.
I think a lot of Northwest or some. I know of Fayetteville. I got a text yesterday that. Let's see. Let me find it. But I think Fayetteville's letting out like early afternoon today.
Okay,
something like that.
That makes sense. Why would you not go to school at all today? Why would you force parents after they've been subjected to their kids' tormenting annoyance for the last 2 weeks? Now, by the way, we're throwing their kids back in your face, and I say that as a loving uncle, of course.
Fayetteville's going to let kids out anywhere between 1 and 2 o'clock tomorrow, depending on what campus you're at, or today rather, not tomorrow. The email was from yesterday, but yeah. So Fayetteville's out no later than 2 o'clock today. But I don't think we're going to have anything fall till tonight.
Is this why parents hate school boards because of decisions like this? I mean,
the school board doesn't make this decision.
Well, then who makes? Help me on this. Who makes this decision?
The superintendent.
Okay, well, the superintendents they need to be educated on. Oh, but snow's not coming to what, 3 or 4 o'clock this.
Well. The issue you've always got to consider is, can I get my buses safely around their routes and back in. You can't. The last thing you want as a superintendent is to lead the news with a
that's
bus
fair.
wreck.
But then just go to school a half day. Now, as a kid, as a youngster, I'd be crying for the whole day off. But as a 30-year-old guy who hears about parents having to complain their kids being home, why would you not do a half day? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Crazy. I mean, I 1,000% agree. I think it's soft because I think tomorrow's going to be, everybody, well, we'll be able to go on Friday. You ain't going to be going anywhere on Friday. Hey, be sure and download the Bet Saracen app. And if you haven't done that yet, you need that for football tonight, as we've got the college football playoff semifinals. All the lines for that college basketball are there. It's the Bet Saracen app, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app.
All right, Morning Rush Daily Question when we return.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
It does my heart good when Texas football, Texas basketball, and Texas baseball suck.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
With the new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
With the new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
Maybe this is a loaded question at this point, considering what happened last night. But after an 0-2 start and a decisive loss to Tennessee and a home court loss to Ole Miss, do you still consider this Arkansas Razorback basketball team a tournament team? Do you still think they can make the tournament? That's the Morning Rush daily question. Maybe it's the wrong timing, but I think it's an interesting barometer on where people maybe are at right now. Because I still think they can make the tournament. I mean, I don't think this an 0-2 start is nothing. I mean, is that anything new for us, Ty? Is this something we've never seen before as an Arkansas fan base? Of course not. And they've made tournaments. Musselman's teams didn't always have the best start out of the gate. I think this is a different year, but I'm not to the point I'm going to say, man, this team, they're going to be in the bottom third, not going to make – I mean, they may, but I don't think right now I'm ready to come to that conclusion.
So you said can they or will they? It's two different questions. Can they? Absolutely. Will they? I don't know. I mean, if they lose Saturday, does this become a much different question?
Do you expect them to win Saturday? I mean, they're playing one of the best teams in the country. I mean, the rankings say that, but I've been on Florida from the get-go. I thought they were one of the best teams I've seen on TV.
Golden's 39, Tommy. Billy Donovan was in the early 40s when he won those championships in 06 and 07.
Well, I'm not saying they're going to win it all, but I just think they're going to compete very well for the SEC regular season championship. And from there, it's crapshoot in the tournament. But, so I think prepare yourself for an 0-3 start, and then you got to figure out how to dig out of that hole.
Get out of the 0-3 hole.
Then how do you go? Let's see.
Here's what you have to do, Tommy. You get out of that 0-3 hole in the best the league has ever been. Unequivocally. Mm-hmm. The best that you're asking this Arkansas team to get out of an 0-3 SEC hole in the best that the SEC has ever been in college basketball.
Then you just got to go 9-6 over your last 15. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, with road games against Auburn,
9-9
in Lexington, home games against Alabama, Oklahoma. That's just that's a tall task. Maybe ask it after the Missouri or LSU game next week. We'll see what the thing looks like. I would say yes. Can they make it? Absolutely. They have the talent.
Well, will they? Will they make the tournament, Ty? Today.
I'm going to say yes because I can't be this negative on January the 9th at 9:43 in the morning. I mean, I can't be this negative. But the stat I can't get up. They're 1-4 in big games. 1-4. Michigan's their only win against the big time opponent. All the other ones, I mean, they're just adds to the win total. They're not marquee wins, but those 4 games you lost are marquee losses.
Yeah.
So yes, the answer to your question is yes. We'll see how I feel on Monday
right,
following the Florida game, and then what they do against Missouri and LSU next week.
What do you think out there? You can send us a message on our live stream that you might be watching now on all the ways we send it out to X. I keep saying Twitter, but it's X, Facebook, and other
You can call it
platforms.
Twitter. I'll give you. I mean, Young
I'm
Bucks.
old enough?
No,
Yeah.
it's not old. No one calls it X. Like,
Nobody calls it X. You call it Twitter, Tommy. That's the way to do it.
That's
what
how
it is.
everyone. It doesn't matter if you're 15. Doesn't matter if you're 65. People still call it Twitter. It's okay. I know he's trying.
Are we on TikTok? Or have we given up on that? Are they going to ban
I'm going to
TikTok?
fix it. It should be out here in just a minute. And even if it is, it gives me something extra to do. So
we are on TikTok
we
now?
will. It's going to. I'm going to have the first video posted later today, or hopefully tomorrow.
What's our handle?
It's going to be.
Or is it a handle? What?
Well, that was the issue. I had this done last week.
What's the proper term on TikTok?
TikTok. That's what you call
Boy,
it.
I
Yeah.
couldn't sound more old or white, could I?
No, that's that. You used it right.
There's
you
a drop.
Used it right. You used it. Yeah, no, you used it right, Tommy. But we're gonna have that up hopefully later today. It should just be hit that line.
I can't tell you how much street cred this is going to give me at home that we're on TikTok now.
I'm gonna get you to do all the trends too, all the dancing trends and lip sync stuff.
I've done one
Lord.
of them. I slapped one of Tommy up one day, and he didn't. He was like, "You're just doing this."
Did
to
I
make
even know
fun
you
of
were doing it?
Yeah, you sang a song while the song was being played. And I thought that was great. Your direct wording was, "You're just doing this to make fun of me," and I was like, "No, of course not." But that was the reality. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Death question. The good thing about Tommy and myself is we're self-deprecating, so we're willing to laugh at ourselves after the fact, even in the midst.
We know
of,
we're a joke.
Yes, very much so. The morning joke every day from 9 to 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Hey, Cart Pass Social, great place. It's cold outside, snowing and stuff. Well, you can golf inside in a climate-controlled facility. The heater is on during winter, so you don't have to worry about freezing your little keister off at Cart Pass Social. Christian, Nate, would love to see you. 2 Rogers boys that put this thing together. Over 500 courses that you can play at their base at the best indoor golf facility in Arkansas, BYOB. So come see them at Cart Pass Social, 122 Grant Place in Lowell, cartpasssocial.com. All right, speaking of jokes, Tommy, Marcus Freeman was messing with James Franklin a little bit prior to this game later on tonight.
Yeah, Coach Franklin has a lot more experience. One being a head coach in college football and even just being in the college athletics. I think in a very eloquent way, Marcus just called me old. What you said? Much more experience. Yeah, that word. Yeah.
That's always. I know that every time
You could hear him tap dancing there, trying to figure out the words to say next. He wasn't prepared for that one.
Coach Freeman's 38, James Franklin's 52, so there's 14 years of difference, a little difference than me and Clay in our age difference that we joke about from time to time. But this is the first game tonight, 6:30 on ESPN. We'll see. I like Notre Dame in this one. You like Penn State. I think we've kind of selected those teams to go on. But as we talk about the Irish, I feel like we have to play this morning. Tommy, I kind of like no NFL tonight. We got a college football alone by itself. I know there'll be some college basketball, but I mean this is some marquee time for college football. I think it's going to get a massive rating coming in the next couple days.
Marquee time, of course, it's their semifinal. Of course,
Well,
it's a
no,
marquee
I'm talking
time.
about like in an adjustment versus like you go up against the NFL on Saturday. Like I was
All right,
curious
so
if
it's
they
teed up for 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean you got college football tonight, college football tomorrow. There's no NFL because NFL's doing it Saturday and Sunday. That's more what I was looking at.
Yeah, I think they'll have, 10 million, 12 million watch tonight. It'll be a huge college football if the game's good. I mean, let me re-preface that. If the game's competitive into the third quarter, there'll be a good audience for this tonight.
Notre Dame's favored by 1 on the BetSares. Who you got to later on tonight at 877-377-6963? I got the Buckeyes tomorrow. I think that offense is just clicking on all cylinders right now. Plus Jack Sawyer and that defense. As much as it pains me to say, and I say it pains me, they're going to beat Texas. So you can't really. I'm not really rooting for either team in that game in the Cotton Bowl. But Tommy, we have tickets. Did you? This would be like one to go to, right? Like, do you ever consider going to this game, or was it always just, we'll give it to someone?
I sold them too soon.
Okay, did you?
I sold them way too soon. Yeah, should have held on to them until after Texas got in there, and then you could just run it up their keister on the price.
Yeah, make sure to sell it to a Texas fan like 10 times the price or whatever than what it actually was. Well, we opened the show this morning. I was in a bad mood. Arkansas lost. My Oklahoma City Thunder lost last night.
Garland in the backcourt still throws it ahead. Mobley has it. Final seconds. It's Cavalier chaos. Cleveland's 32-4 with an 11-game winning streak.
Did you watch any of that game last night? I am stacked up one next to each other. Did you watch any of that game last night?
No, I watched the Hogs, and then after that it was like Kansas and Arizona State were on right after the Hog game. So
is Hurley still coaching the Sun Devils? Is he still coaching that basketball team?
I believe I don't. I watched about 5 minutes of it. I believe that's right, but I watched it over to a buddy of mine's house, and then I had to head back and get home.
Kansas wins 74-55 in Allen Fieldhouse last night. I'm going to be honest, I turned it off. Other SEC games last night. Alabama got a 20-point win over South Carolina, beat them pretty good. And Tommy, how about Texas A&M last night?
3-on-1. Hefner, Washington flying to the rim and tears it down, and the Aggies have the lead.
Buzz Williams and company get a 2-point win in Norman, 80-78 after trailing for much of that game last night. We were talking about surprises this week. I thought for sure that Porter Mosier's team would get it done last night in Loyal Noble Center. Instead, it was the Aggies that prevailed. So kind of, again, surprising outcomes continue to pop up in the SEC. And you think about Alabama wins on the road, A&M wins on the road, and then unfortunately Ole Miss wins on the road in Bud Walton last night.
Yeah, so, a little bit of a reverse trend. And 4 games versus 3 on Tuesday versus Wednesday. But, we talked about it yesterday morning. Heard Tom Hart talking about it during the broadcast. What was it, 13-2 to that point or whatever? Home teams had the edge in conference play. So there's Arkansas didn't follow the trend that had built up to that point. So got to figure that out, because you can't surrender very many home court wins, because it's going to be very difficult to go do that on the road.
We're doing some snow updates this morning. Got a text in from Greg, who's listening in Mena. He said snow is already falling in Mena, and Mena is expecting 4 to 8 inches. Schools are going to be closed till Monday at least. What county is that, Tommy? Help me out on that.
Polk, P-O-L-K.
P-O-L-K. Polk
Don't
County.
confuse it with Pope. It's Polk
County.
Just south of Scott County, just north of, what would that be, Sevier County.
Did you know counties?
To the east would be Montgomery.
There you go. Keep going. Just keep rattling.
Garland, Hot Springs County, getting into Malvern. So, yeah, I know a few of them. How many counties are there in Arkansas, Ty?
74, 73. Which one is it?
75.
Okay, close. Did you know counties prior to radio? Like, I know cities, but as we continue to do this radio show together, and Clay always seems to rip them out too, I've definitely learned more. Did you know counties prior to radio? Like,
that was. Didn't you have state? Was it state history, or there was a class you took? I don't know if it was elementary or junior high, but you had to take an Arkansas state history course at some
point.
Learned
about Native Americans in that class.
But we had to. I remember learning. You had to learn all of the counties in Arkansas.
They have dumbed down the curriculum so much from when you were in school to when me and Colton went through. It's insane. Probably why the English language doesn't come easy to me from time to time.
Hey, if you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell, be sure and get that on your phone. It'll be really handy no matter where you're at during the snowstorm to keep us nearby as well. That's the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. We're brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is their number. 479-782-3936. Anything involving fencing, gates, powered automatic gates, they'll come out and give you a free estimate, free quote, and make sure that they can design and everything you want to do with your custom thoughts on whether it's a residential or commercial project as well. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hour 2 coming up. Let's chat with Tom Murphy. What did he think about last night's 7-point loss? We'll hear his thoughts next.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find him at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give him a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio. Simon, what's going on post-Christmas?
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Proud to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner. because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, winter storm moves through today into tonight. We are expecting to see an increasing chance of snowfall today. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the lower 30s. We'll start to see some accumulation tonight into Friday, anywhere from 3 to 9 inches of snow, and there is a chance of a 1/4 inch of ice. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. Listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I would just say I'm not set for the priesthood or taking one of those vows. I just don't know how they do it.
This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Why would you take that when you haven't made a shot? Why are you doing that? Create a shot for a teammate that they can make. And I couldn't get him in that mode. And again, he's young. He's trying to figure this out. All of a sudden, you play like that, your life passes before your eyes. It shouldn't be, but it does. Just calm down. This is a long season. You didn't play well. You didn't shoot well. So we move on.
This is The Morning Rush.
Just a small town girl.
It is hour number 2 of the Morning Rush. We're going to chat with Tom Murphy coming up in just a bit. Got plenty of text already this morning. Got an angry Jim in Magazine. Don't really blame him. Saying, highest paid team, Tommy, in the country. Can't win a game in the SEC. Pathetic. Maybe he should have recruited some men and not some boys. I know anytime we talk college basketball with Arkansas, everyone harkens back to what Larry Johnson told Nolan Richardson. Better go get some men. He did. They went on to win a national championship. Got to another national championship, but yeah, oftentimes when you start losing and there's freshmen on the roster, this is the response that accompanies it.
Yeah, and when you're in the immediate afterwash of a disappointing home loss, and that was a game everyone should expect to win. I got no issue with the expectation; it didn't meet it. I totally get why we get some of the responses we have gotten this morning. All right, on to Tom in just a moment. First, a word for my friends at Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue, next to Sody's in Fort Smith. One of my favorite places. Ty, I know you enjoy going there as well, but I enjoy going there.
Great date spot.
Great date spot. Exactly. Particularly if you want to impress, like on the first date, or you're a little more established in the relationship like me, and you're celebrating like a big anniversary or a big birthday. That's where you roll it out, right? I mean, that's where you want to put on. They used to say putting on the Ritz. That's where you go. You go to Uncorked. It's one of the finest places you're going to go, but it's very comfortable. I like going there with buddies after work because they open at 4:00. It's quiet. I mean, I'm not one of these like you, Ty. I don't need the DJ blaring the music. I don't have to shout over the music or the background to have conversation,
Yeah.
So it's a great place to do that as well. So even a late afternoon during the week, they open Tuesday through Friday at 4, then on the weekends. Then, of course, dinner reservations are always possible as well. Now, today being the 9th, and we know what the forecast is going to be, they're not going to be open today. But they'll hopefully open for the weekend as well. And make your plans now for Valentine's Day. They got a lot of cool stuff coming up in February. Valentine's Day menu. They've got a Galentine's Day brunch. So send your wife to that. It's on Saturday the 15th. You could do the Galentine's brunch. That's pretty cool. So it's all at Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's. Closed today, back open after the weather. UncorkTheFort.com for your reservations.
I got a quick question. All right. This is different age groups, and maybe this isn't the thing. Do your friends' wives have a group text? Like ours have the hens. They call them the hens. And so like, and they go to uncorked more often than not on Thursday night. Do you guys have like a group of gals, like your friends' wives group text?
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah.
Okay. I was just kind of
I
curious.
don't care about knowing or reading. Yeah, I think they absolutely. I can tell you this: the cheer moms definitely do.
Okay.
So on that side of the equation, of the
there's probably some fire and some intensity in that text. If I had to guess, like nothing we've ever seen.
Oh my, yeah. So. And they will discuss to the last breath every final detail, whether it's uniforms. But Brenda texts in and says absolutely the gals have a text group. So
Okay.
I know you ladies do, Brenda.
Yeah.
So
Well, I can't think of a better.
they got to have a forum, and Brenda, they got to have a forum because they get tired of gushing over how wonderful we are as husbands and fathers and as men. So these ladies need to have some forum to tell the other ladies how wonderful we are and how we take care of all of the details and, never have to be asked to do anything. We're just proactive. So, I mean, they need another outlet, Ty, to tell their friends how wonderful we are.
Jim also adds, you're smoking the good stuff this morning, aren't you? What a perfect segue for Tom Murphy.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Mach 1 Financial. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-1financial.com/disclosures.
Tom, how many group texts are you in? I know you got work texts. I know you got friend texts, Smack Over, Georgia. I mean, how many group texts would you say you're in right now?
Oh, gosh. Well, if I look back on my phone, it would be dozens upon dozens because it's various combinations of my sisters and siblings and my kids and my wife and so on. A lot.
Is the family ones the ones that go off the rails the most when you feel like you can really be yourself when you shouldn't?
Throwback, man. Me and Bob, we had our own, and then me and Bob and some other guys in the company comment on everything sporting, when coaches go off, when players go off. That was probably the ones that went off the rails the most, Bob and I.
I should mention Bob on Basil won the Sportscaster Year. Bob won the Sports Writer of the Year. So I want to make sure he gets his due this morning for that. Tom, last night, not as planned, 7-point loss to Ole Miss. I know Arkansas fans are frustrated this morning. You're in 0-2 hole. You're staring down the barrel of 0-3 with the tough Florida team coming into town. What have you made of these first two SEC games, and how does Cal get Boogie going in conference play?
Well, these are great questions. And, so Eric Musselman teams over those few years, they would start out 2 games or even 3 games below 500. In fact, I was looking back through some records today where they were like 1-3 and won a ton of games in a row. It was amazing. And so you think, well, it can be done, but in the conference this year, it's going to be harder. I just think that all of the injuries they had in preseason and early season, they just haven't been able to grow together. And so you saw last night against a team that really defends you very well how they struggled in the half court. And you think about a guy like Brazil, what was his use yesterday? What were they doing with him? Well, they were running him up to the free throw line and throwing an entry pass to him with his back to the basket. And I don't remember a time where he turned and pivoted and made the aggressive move like, I'm going to shoot or I'm going to drive by you. He typically passed it away. So they have to make sure guys like him and Adu know what their roles are, so it's not just Fland, Wagner, and Thero driving into the lane late in the shot clock. And they didn't get a ton of offensive they got some in the first half, but it's pretty much one and done in the second half. It just goes to show you a crisp, bigger team. They're going to be gritty and tough, but Arkansas just struggled with its jump shooting, particularly in the second half, and from three-point range. And they've got to get guys that feel more naturally in what their roles are going to be. And I point to Brazil as the example because he can score, but he did not look to the basket very often. You think all the touches he had, it wasn't often he looked to the goal.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier, people describe it different ways. The defense gets you extended, the ball gets stuck, there's not enough movement. Offensively, it's just they still got to figure out a way not to be so stagnant. And there's too many half-court possessions, Tom, where even the big and Adu is way too far from the basket. And I don't know how you solve it. I'm not Jimmy Dykes. I'm not the mechanical in this deal, but seems like it's dribble, dribble, dribble. Shot clock gets down, and you take a shot you'd probably rather not have.
There's a lot of that. And, of course, we know John Calipari is like basically the godfather of the dribble drive offense, and so it can be productive for them. And there are times where Fland or Wagner gets in there and gets a layup out of it, and even zero. But you're right, way too much deep into the shot clock and not really seeming to know what to set. Not know, but not have a plan in mind as how they're going to attack. And I'm with you. It reminds me of some of the offense last year when Arkansas got into a rut. Late in the shot clock, the ball's on the perimeter, and everybody's looking at the ball handler instead of setting screens and getting into a set. So they've got a long way to go, and it's just going to be so tough this year in this league to fight back. You got to find a way to get hot, and that starts with having confidence in what you're doing.
So Arkansas led this game out of the gate. Ole Miss didn't have a lead, I guess, till the early moments of the second half. It was tied at 33 at the half. What changed? I mean, really it changed with about 4, 5, 6 minutes to go in the first half, Tom, and then Ole Miss gained all the momentum going into the locker room. What did you see change? Because Arkansas had kind of had their way, built a 10-point lead, and then Ole Miss never looked back from the second half on.
Well, you're right there. I mean, they just got a few stops. I mean, John L. Davis kind of propelled Arkansas for a while when he made 4 shots in a row, 3 of them three-pointers. And I'm not saying that was fool's gold, but he missed his next 5 shots on the day, 4 shots, I think. He ended up 4 of 9. So Ole Miss just really concentrated its defense on not allowing DJ Wagner to go off, and Bland just never found his shot yesterday. And so as a freshman, when a guy goes 5 for 20, and John Calipari even pointed this out, at some point you're like, what are you doing? You're not shooting well tonight. Shooters want to just keep shooting. But I just think that it got harder and harder for Arkansas to score in the half court, and that favored Ole Miss. Ole Miss just looked very confident in their offensive set. They got some backdoor stuff. They got one where Carter Knox just got rubbed off at the top of the key.
Yeah.
And Sean Padula runs under there like no one's even around.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got work to do on both ends. And, they need to be more than just a collaboration of highly rated, players. They need to bond together. And, Cal's a great coach, and they've got to find the answers fast now.
Tom Murphy with us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, on that note of shooting, prior to you talking about defense, I know Cal says that they've been a good shooting team, but when you look at some of the better opponents they've played, they haven't shot the ball well. I know what the stats say, but I know what my eyes see. You think this is a good shooting team? Because I wouldn't necessarily put them in that category.
Well, I mean, the compilation of stats right now tells you they're shooting 49.8%. So they just dipped below 50 for the year. And okay, so maybe in some of the tough games they haven't shot it well. Certainly they didn't against Tennessee and Ole Miss. And Florida will present a difficult challenge as well. So, I mean, we'll have to wait till the end of the year to say whether they're a good shooting team, but they're shooting better than most of the teams in the SEC right now, no matter who you built that up against, because those other teams are playing similar schedules as well. Mm-hmm. But I know what you're saying. Illinois game, they didn't shoot it particularly well, and there's some others, some games that they've lost. But if you're going to shoot jump shots primarily, then you better start making it. I'm not talking about Fland and Davis, or your field goal percentages are going to start dropping dramatically.
Tom, I wonder your thoughts. We've gotten some texts about, well, they're not putting in enough effort. They've been playing 9 guys, have been banged up in every game this season where they haven't had the full complement of 9. I mean, is it an effort thing? Are they just tired? Like, what's your view on this roster that's been comprised where you only have 9 guys that are going to play against elite competition?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm not going to challenge. I'm not going to question their effort as of now. there were just some plays where they got rubbed off or young guys, couldn't get around a screen or something when I referenced the Carter Knox play a minute ago. But I don't see that it's lack of effort. Now, one thing I was a little puzzled by was Arkansas didn't foul. Like with a minute left and you're down 6 or 7, usually you put the other team on the line and make them. And Ole Miss was missing free throws at that point too.
100%. So I don't know if this team lacks for confidence, but I know the fan base does. But let's just presume there is a little crack there. How do you regain kind of your poise and your confidence? 0-2, you got Florida coming in, who scored 100 and lost to Kentucky, then smacked Tennessee, who had smacked you a week ago, come this Saturday. How do you mentally get it straight between your ears to have a chance to win on Saturday, Tom?
That's a great question. You got to have a good practice, and you've got to come in with a game plan against Florida that gives you a chance. I mean, they've got to be strong on the boards.
You got to believe. You got to believe you can do it.
You do have to believe, and of course, it'll be a rematch of Elijah Martin, the guard for Florida, and John L., who both were on the Florida Atlantic team that made the Final Four. So you've got to, you win that game, then there's a pretty quick turnaround in confidence and how the fans feel about you, as opposed to going 0-3. So this game's got a lot riding on it, and Florida presents a really stiff challenge because you could tell even in that Kentucky game, that was a battle from the get-go. And, I didn't get to watch it fully, but the parts I did see, man, Florida was really competing hard. So they present a lot of challenges. They have a bunch of different scores. Clayton didn't do a whole lot in the win over Kentucky, the win over Tennessee, but he's capable. Martin scores a lot. Condon, really tough on the boards and tough inside. They've got to find a way for Adu and Big Z and Brazil to give them more offensively because there wasn't a lot of contributions from those three last night.
Yeah. So Tom Murphy gets snowed in the house for 48 hours. What's the one food thing you've got to have? Hey, I don't care what happens before the snow starts. I got to get to the grocery store and get things to make this or have this item. What's the one thing we can't have a snowstorm without?
Oh, I haven't thought about that, but I've got a lot of cereal on hand and milk. I'm a huge milk drinker, lactose-free milk. And, well, you know what? I might have to go get me some yogurt today, y'all, because I do like that. And then, lunch meats and wraps. I'm big on those things.
I had you pegged for a pot of chili, guy. You got to have a pot of chili.
Tommy, did you have Tom saying yogurt there as an answer to your question? That is not what I expected.
I did not. It was not on my bingo card. No.
You guys, I when I was younger, I just didn't like chili that much. I don't know, it was maybe too hot for me. But now, I love it. My wife makes a great pot of chili. I don't make chili. I don't think I've never made chili in my life, but now I do love it. So, Tommy, if you want to drop head up to Fayetteville, man, I'll eat some chili with you.
All right, let's do it. I figured all your garden tomatoes from the summer, you'd can them up, make chili
pasta
with your own
sauce
tomatoes.
or something.
Yeah, something. So, all right, man,
Yeah,
stay warm and safe. Go ahead.
No, it was just all small tomatoes this year. I didn't have my big boys. So, yep.
The big dogs.
Well, stay safe, my friend. I know it's not going to be as bad in your part of the state, but others listening, it's going to get a little worse. But hopefully everything can regather, and there'll be better days ahead for the basketball team.
Yeah, there will be. And, everybody down in Fort Smith, looks like y'all are going to get more snow down that way. So good luck to you guys. Hang in there.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, thanks,
How many
Tom.
times have we said that? Think about this. Tommy, you've got a few years on me. I know we got listeners with the same situation. How many times in your life have you said, well, Fayetteville's not, Springdale, Bentonville, you're not going to get it that much, but Fort Smith, Van Buren, Mena, Little Rock, you're going to get pelted this weekend.
The geography in our state with the two different mountain ranges, you got the Washtenaws and the Ozarks, and we're Fort Smith sandwiched in between, and the rest of the River Valley. So, yeah, it's the geography that creates the issue.
Real quick story. Baylor Brad the one time we ever left for Christmas was the one time it snowed in Little Rock and it didn't snow in Rogers. I looked my dad at about 8 years old. I looked him up and down. I looked him in the eye. I said, Dad, we're never traveling for Christmas again. And there was a chance I should have been spanked, but instead he responded, you're right, Ty. We won't do this again. And it never snowed in Little Rock since, but the one time we went, it snowed.
Yep, snow's about a week later. So, hey, this hour of the Morning Rush and Tom Murphy brought to you by our friends at Mach 1 Financial. I know we've just come out of the holiday season, and maybe you're thinking about your charitable donations in 2025. There's several tax planning strategies that you can maximize your giving impact and help save you on taxes. Matt and John break down the information on various retirement and tax planning strategies and explore the latest statistics behind giving to charity. The Market Moment is a space for the everyday investor like you and me, and you can find them on YouTube or at market-moment.com or on the Market Moment YouTube channel as well. Tune in and get your financial questions answered by the experts. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC, is a registered investment advisor. They're located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-1financial.com/disclosures.
JT in Hot Springs texting in. He said, homemade chicken and dumplings is being cooked in our house right now. Ryan in Prairie Grove responding to Tom's answer, saying, I took Tom for a beer and cheese guy, not a yogurt and wraps guy. LOL. Nope. That was, again, not the answer. So I'm going to be honest. I was going to go to the grocery store today, and I marked it off. Because I was like, I really don't need to. Like, I got food enough for the next 2 days before I travel to Little Rock for this wedding this weekend. Should I actually go to the grocery store?
Is the wedding going to happen? I was thinking about that driving up. Is Ty's wedding going to happen?
I don't know. I hope so.
Is it an indoor or an outdoor event? Surely it's already been
in
planned
the
for.
Clint Library, so it's indoor.
Oh, well, it's indoor.
Yeah, but
hey, when you go in there to the Clint, I've been through that thing.
You know, okay, go ahead.
How many times have you toured the Clinton Library?
I used to work there, not like at the facility.
Well, then tell me, because I've looked and I've looked and I've looked and I've looked, and I cannot find it. They're at the library.
What, the putting green?
No, the blue dress. I can't find it anywhere. Where is it at?
Is it bad that I don't know what that reference is? Colt's laughing over there.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I've done.
Never mind. Moving on. So
I've done the putting green. I didn't know. He's laughing over there. I'm sitting here oblivious per usual. I've not. Can you explain this in real time on air? I want this to be an on air.
If you don't get the joke, then it's just, if I have to explain the jokes, they're not nearly as funny. So, but I've looked. I've toured that thing. Season pass. Still can't find
another moment where Ty just doesn't know what's going on for the 50 billionth time in.
I think that's what makes it even funnier. So,
well, yeah, there's plenty of audience members that are laughing. I will look it up on Google during the break because Google never lies.
You get back to me during the break.
Not on the company Wi-Fi.
Hey Siri, what? Oh man.
Hey, we're brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custards. I know it's cold, but there's still never too cold a time to get your favorite flavors at Andy's Frozen Custards. They have the Pick 6, which you can take home and probably just set out in your garage right now. It won't melt. It's so cold outside. But seriously, take it in, put it in the freezer, mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for a treat that you and your family can enjoy during these cold days ahead. Andy's Frozen Custards are in Conway twice. East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive. You'll find them both locations, JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock and on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Andy's Frozen Custards. Download the Andy's app from the App Store, walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you.
The amount of texts that I've received in my personal line is staggering at this point. So I'm going to read these. I'm going to figure out what Tommy means, and then we're going to come back and we're going to tell you what happened in the SEC in basketball last night. The Morning Rush continues next.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Jay Billis of ESPN, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or biglou.com.
Hey, this is Oliver Miller, former Arkansas Razorback, the Big O. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Oliver Miller, the Big O. We're gonna roll into the middle.
Woo! Big Suey, baby.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town, and they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
With the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, luxury is all in the details. A cheesy gordita crunch with the crisp bite of a crunchy taco wrapped in a pillowy flatbread. A beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned beef stacked on velvety melted cheese. A crunchy taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. All for just $7. Live Lux for less today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude free tax extra.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Looking for a way to get your favorite lures from Pradco at the click of a button? Learner.com not only has brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, but the site includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. We have free shipping for all U.S. orders over $35, so be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures. Check out Learner.com today.
Portside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
You know, one of the things that the way I like to coach, I solicit a lot of feedback from the girls. And there's that language that you develop with your players that those seniors already know. And so when I'm asking them to do something, they can translate it for me, you know, or when I'm needing feedback from them, they kind of know what I'm wanting to hear.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Nelson goes pass underneath. Easy 2 points for Muhammad Diabate.
Man, South Carolina had a squad last season. I don't know if you could say the same about them this year. Lamont Paris dealing with year 2 issues as they fall to Alabama last night at home by 20. Crimson Tide take it 88-68. Tommy, 3 road games last night, 3 road wins. A&M gets a victory in Norman 80-78, and then Ole Miss drops Arkansas 73-66. Prior to that, what was it, 13-2 after this past weekend? After last night, and then or 2 nights ago, whatever it was, and now it's changed up a little bit.
Yeah, and no big surprises last night. I mean, unless you want to consider Ole Miss beating Arkansas, but Ole Miss is ranked. Arkansas was the betting line favorite. I don't really consider that in that category. South Carolina could have really been the one to rock the apple cart last night and didn't against Alabama. So I think I don't know. We should draw any real concrete conclusions after 2 ball games, but we know Auburn's really good. It appears Alabama and Kentucky and Florida can all score a lot of points, and Tennessee's still going to be in the mix somewhere. But I'm not sure that they are. They're falling in my Pradco pyramid of power. I can tell you that. I think I've spotted 2 or 3 teams maybe better than Tennessee at this point through a couple of ball games.
So, if you want to look at this glass half full, like a lot of negative stuff this morning. That's fine. I mean, 0-2 in the SEC, you can't pull out a lot of positives with that. Next week, let's say they lose on Saturday, which very, very, very much could happen. I would love for them to Florida be 1-2. I don't feel it. So you get LSU on the road, one of the worst teams in the SEC. Missouri's one of the worst / one of the mids. Those are your 2 road games next week. Then Tommy, you come back with Georgia. Let's say everything falls into place. You could conceivably be 3-3 heading into that Oklahoma game on January the 25th. Again, if you want to take the glass half full perspective, which has been more negative comments and text than it has positive ones, and I get it. But based on your schedule, where it started to where it begins at, or where it kind of gets going after that, that's something I could actually see happening because just based on where this team could be in basically a week and a half.
Yeah, well, I think it's week to week in this league. We say that in football some, but I think it is going to be. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be weather. There's going to be shooting streaks. There's going to be cold streaks. Guys are going to play better. It's a long season. Arkansas hadn't gotten out of the gate the way you want, but the race isn't over yet. So, not ready to throw in the towel. They have not met expectations to this point. Trounced in Knoxville and get beat on your home floor. No issue with having a thought that leans a little bit to the glass half full, but there's 16 more games. Let's see what happens.
Well, Cal, talking about adjustments, here's what he said about maybe what he needs to do to mix some things up.
Probably got to sub earlier than I'm subbing because you got guys that are exhausted. They don't like to be taken out, but you're so exhausted. We probably start subbing a little bit earlier to give us a break, and you got to count on the guys coming off the bench, and that's why I'm saying to you, you got to have everyone giving you something.
We'll see if any other adjustment helps them against the Gators on Saturday. 3 o'clock, we'll have pregame coverage with Chuck and Z beginning at 2:30, and then Hog reaction after the game with Colton and Matt. That's going to do it for your SEC update here on a Thursday, Tommy.
Brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group, the #1 provider of aggregates, asphalt, ready-mix concrete right here in Northwest Arkansas. Are you looking for a turnkey solution for your project? Maybe you need help with surveying, engineering, the construction side of it. They've got drone capabilities, trucking and logistics. They can go full scale and give you a turnkey solution for your project. And listen, you may not be the person that's deciding on how many miles of the highway are going to get done here. Maybe you're just trying to figure out your driveway. Well, they do small jobs like that as well. So no matter the size of the project, there's no job too big or small for APAC and Standard Materials Group. They have complete and total construction consultant services. 479-587-3300. Call and they'll put you in touch with the right person. The #1 provider of everything you need to make your project go smoothly is APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300. 833-300.
Circling back to weather, Billy texting in saying it doesn't look like 540 in Fort Smith has been treated just yet, so avoid it or just be very careful going home this afternoon. Tommy, you mentioned school being out in several school districts today and tomorrow. You think this is one of those things as like a boss, you're telling your employees to take a half day, not take a half day, but do the rest of the work from home? I realize in some job areas you can't do it, but is this one of those days you think?
I think here's what I've told everybody but you. When it starts snowing, go home. Because here's the thing, it's been so cold for so many days now, it's going to stick immediately.
Yeah.
There is no hitting the road and melting and in an hour or two, then it starts accumulating. It's going to stick to the roads almost immediately. Now for you, I've got a cot and a sleeping bag in the back room. And some military ready to eats back there. So you'll be fine. Hope you like Vienna sausages and.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm just going to order some pizzas and put it on the company dime. That'd be
fine.
Yeah,
that'd be fine.
Just as long as I stay here. That is one thing I've noticed about our office. We don't have a couch. And I'm a fan of
we
naps.
used to, and it got used too much.
I'm a fan of naps. Like, I stay here. I'll get here at 5 a.m., and I'm here till 1 or 2, and then come back and stuff. I like to take a 30-minute nap. So just consider that for 2025 on the list of expenditures.
Where would we put it?
I was about to say, where's it going to go?
Where would it go?
Move your desk out in the other room, Ty.
Well, no, it'll just go in your office. I'll just take a
I've
nap.
got the smallest room in the building. There is not a smaller room in the building.
You're really complaining about having an office?
But let's not act like. Hey,
I would say the
first of
closet
all,
that I produced the show from is a little smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got
counter
the
that,
second
Tommy.
smallest. The bathroom is larger than my office.
I'm trying to think from a width standpoint. Maybe a width, not in girth, but yeah.
What if we put it on the
so
front
let's not act like I've got this 1,200 square foot suite over here with a pool table in it.
I treat the KTG studios like my office, so I guess
many moons ago, guys.
Here we go.
When I was in, I think I was just out of high school, or maybe just finishing up high school. It came a snowstorm, and I worked in the very building you're sitting in now. There's been radio stations in there since January of '95, essentially. And I worked there when the first radio station moved into that building many years ago. And I got snowed in there once, and it was close to 48 hours before I could leave. And that was back in the day. We didn't have computers to run things. We had cart decks. We had to play the music off CDs, which was a new technology. There was no satellite to kick it over to. I was stuck till the next person could relieve me from duty. And it was like 48 hours before anyone could come and relieve me. So
thank you for your service.
Yeah. So when you want to cry and whine about it, I've walked to school uphill both ways.
Listen, I'm not one of those millennials that thinks that I have it worse than the people that have worked and lived prior to me. I think that drives me insane when kids younger than me or my age or adults, whatever you want to call them, they act like kids sometimes. And they're like, oh my gosh, my life is so hard, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, why don't you ask your dad? Why don't you ask your grandpa? Why don't you ask your and just what they went through, what they got paid, and what they had to put up with versus what you do, you petulant, spoiled brat. We end it there. We'll get into one more segment coming up here on the Morning Rush.
First couple words about fishing. I know that's probably not on your mind, but hey, we're all going to be sitting around looking at our tablets and our phones. Go to lurenet.com over the next few days and check out all the discounts that they've got at LureNet. Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and a lot more. But the site also has exclusive deals that you'll only find on your favorite baits and the things you won't find anywhere else that are at lurenet.com. Plus free shipping on all U.S. orders over $35. So be sure to treat yourself to something great over this snow break at lurenet.com, and you and a buddy can bait up and be ready to go when the weather gets better. Check it all out at lurenet.com. One of the things you could buy would be probably a Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue is what I would take along to Gaston's. If you're going up there for a fishing trip, that Rogue, particularly this time of the year, would be great. You can take that. One of the expert guides can help you with your trip at Gaston's. Hey, I can't think of too many places better to get snowed in the next few days than Gaston's, one of their cabins. Just keep bringing firewood, and you get your private kitchen. You make your pot of chili or your chicken and dumplings, and just roll with it and look at the river. And if you get some fishing in, great. If you don't, hey, you're just fine as well looking at the river at Gaston's. Winter rates are in effect, so discounts for the rest of this month, February and March, all available right now. 870-431-5202 is their number, 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Y'all are more important right now to the public than you've ever been, and just keep up the good work. We enjoy the banter and the jokes and the carrying on. It's just a blast.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hey, this is former Razorback pitcher Connor Noland, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meinke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meinke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meinke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Old man winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
The Party Place has everything you need for special occasions. Super Bowl parties, Mardi Gras celebrations, Valentine's decorations, and more. Party supplies for 1 to 100. Shop the Party Place in Fort Smith.
The Party Place in the Tuesday Morning Building behind Ashley Furniture in Fort Smith.
Get ready for your party at the Party Place.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio. Simon, what's going on post-Christmas?
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or used bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
You get up 10, you got to put people away. And we got up 10. We were moving the ball. We were creating good shots. Did some good stuff.
That's John Calipari after Arkansas' 7-point loss to Ole Miss last night. We've gotten plenty of text already. We'll get back to some of your reaction, your thoughts on the loss to Ole Miss in just a sec.
You a snorer? You snore?
I don't know. My dad is. I don't think. I don't have like a lot of people I sleep with that are like, yo. You snore.
Right. Great way of handling that question there. I want to talk to all the guys out there that you saw logs. Like all my fellow saw loggers. Is that the way you would say that?
Like that?
Yeah, he's sawing logs in there. Hey, Dr. Bo Sparkman over at Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, can help you with that. They have a snore guard. They custom make and custom fit you with a snore guard. And right now, if you mention it here on the Ty Richardson Encyclopedia Network, you can get $300 off your snore guard. So call for your appointment, and if you'd like to maybe get some relief, or maybe your wife or your significant other would like some relief from your snoring, they can help you with that with a snore guard right now and get a $300 discount just for listening to the Morning Rush. 479-226-3500 for your appointment. They do everything from a dental standpoint, but this is one of the other many services they offer as well. 479-226-3500. Ask about the snore guard at Valley Family Dental or go to valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
So you mentioned the term encyclopedia. Would there be a worse job in 2025 than trying
and
to...
I was sincere about it when I said it.
I could tell. Would there be a worse job in 2025 than trying to sell encyclopedias door to door?
My first trip to Orlando was because my mom sold encyclopedias door to door, full set. We had a set. It wasn't the Britannica. It was the World Book.
Yeah.
World Book.
Nice.
There was two rival, big titans in the encyclopedia industry, Ty, back in the 80s. World Book and then Britannica. And my mom sold World Book encyclopedias. And I came across, because my son had it out and just was mesmerized. There was an atlas book, leather bound, that had all the maps of the world in it at that time. So, and I guess a few of them have changed since then. But anyway, my first trip to Orlando was paid for by World Book because we got to go to Disney because she won a trip to Disney from World Book.
You didn't want to carry on the family legacy?
Hey, those were the original Cliff Notes. Those were the original ways you, in fifth grade, found topics and subjects and things, because not every kid had encyclopedias. Teachers didn't have them. You couldn't Google it. That was the original Google right there, was the encyclopedias.
Well, right before we get back to what happened in Bud Walton Arena, speaking of that, in the easy...
Plethora of knowledge.
Yeah.
That would be the other way. Plethora of knowledge.
You had to look up stuff in those big old books, and I just, you have this help me on this, Colton. What was the website that you could make note cards on that people would just make note cards for the previous test and you would have access to those? You're gonna have to Quizlet. I think it's Quizlet. Yeah,
Quizlet.
Quizlet. Tommy, on that, like if you fail college today, I don't know how you're gonna make it live.
You have to try really
there
hard.
are so many tools that you guys didn't have in your possession 20, 30, 40 years ago that are just make it easy. And I'm not gonna say test banks are part of those in some cases, but it is insane. Like with AI and everything else that's happening, if you can't pass courses, and I get journalism for me is a little more difficult than, let's say, mechanical engineering, but that's my
you think
just a little, just a once. All right, final thoughts. 10:48 here on the Morning Rush. 877-377-6963. I've had a bad 24 hours. Hogs lost, Thunder lost. Snowstorm incoming, but at least I get to finish out this 2-hour radio show with Tommy. Any final thoughts from last night's game?
Got to play better defense.
Okay.
I mean,
you've been harping on that.
Well, I mean, to me, that's where you allowed so many easy buckets underneath. Wasn't a matter of Arkansas turned the ball over a bunch. There's only 11 total turnovers in the game, 6 for Arkansas and 5 for Ole Miss. The points off turnovers weren't big. Points in the paint were the biggest part of the game. And if you want to get that arena really going, you got to have transition points. Arkansas only had maybe 3 or 4 transition opportunities in the game because Ole Miss doesn't turn it over, doesn't give you a lot of steals. Arkansas only had 2 steals. That's what brings the crowd to their feet.
Yeah,
steal the ball, drive the floor quickly, get a dunk, kick it out for a 3, and that's what builds the home court edge. That's got to find its way into the mix as somehow that defense is pressing enough to produce enough transition activity every 4 or 5 minutes to keep the building juiced. And
maybe you should talk to
that wasn't a part
team.
of it last night.
Maybe you should talk to the team before.
Well, I don't need to. I mean, they've got plenty of far more qualified people than me, like Eddie in Clarksville, that could talk to the team. But nonetheless, that's what was missing. The crowd was quiet. Dane Bradshaw talked about that. You could just sense it watching the game because there wasn't any highlight plays. And, the dunks and the transition plays are what produce your highlights and your moments like that.
Well, Mike wants to go back to the encyclopedias. How much did those cost, by the way? After that,
probably hundreds back then, which was a lot.
Jeez.
I mean, obviously that's like buggy whips that they've gone by the wayside with technology. But yeah, I mean, that's not a business you'd want to be in. Do they even? I can't even imagine they still publish those.
I wouldn't think so. Would you say buggy whips? What are buggy whips?
Once you whip the horse whip on the buggy.
Would you like to be in the buggy whip business now? Back in 1900, there's a pretty good business to be in. Making buggy whips.
Well, it's like, I mean, you adjust.
Ain't a very good business now.
John Deere used to make wagons, and now they make tractors.
Yeah.
So you gotta adjust with the times.
Some people don't.
It's not for everyone.
Not a big need with buggy whips right now.
Cal's talked about adjustments. I did get a kick out. You know how sometimes, like during a relationship, and you break up, and the other person tells you, I just want to work on me. Well, it
not
kind of
you, it's me.
Yeah, I kind of like. It's kind of what Cal said last night. It was pretty funny.
And we got to come back in the afternoon and work on us. I can't worry about the next opponent. We got to get better our stuff before we worry about this next team. And the next team's really good.
It's not about you. It's about me. I thought that was funny
he's
last
right.
night. No, he is right.
He's
And like coaches often say, it's like it's not about what they do. It's about what we do. And, I mean, giving up 73, Ole Miss is not like just this prolific, potent scoring team. But you can win giving up 73 points a lot of times in your home arena. You just didn't last night because you didn't have any offense in the second half.
I subscribe to that line of thinking because, I mean, I don't want to get too far in the weeds and behind the curtain, but how much time do we ever spend in meetings off air or in sales meetings talking about other media or competition? We don't, because I've always believed you just take care of your own issues, don't create your own issues, and then a lot of things fall into place. I know sports is a little different, but that's what he's saying. We can't even worry about the opponent until we fix ourselves. You got to be good at what you're doing before you can focus on any of that other stuff.
So I'm going to just go
spot on there.
I'm going to go and open up that can of worms. What issues do we have?
Oh, I mean, how much time we got left?
A minute and 45 seconds.
Well, I mean, we got to get better with. We got to get better with segues around here. We got to get better with segment teases. Segment teases are atrocious.
Okay.
I mean, it's not me. I'm going to go full Mick Cronin here. It's not me. I'm 100% bought in. It's all you people.
Okay.
Did you hear that rant the other day?
Yeah, he's a
God Almighty. You talk about just everybody fleeing. How'd that go for company morale there?
I don't
Coach
know.
Cronin?
What did UCLA do? Or did they play tonight? Did they play this weekend? All right, I got segues and seg teases. Okay. I'll let you work on those.
Yeah. Let me rattle through my list of 80 or 100 things here. Hey, 3 o'clock Saturday, right? Play Florida at 3. Great time to watch and a game middle of the afternoon. Joe's Grill and Cantina, locally owned. Great people. And listen, after these snowstorms, support your local businesses. They need it more than anyone. Joe's Grill's going to be there with the game, half-price apps and taps. As soon as the weather's good, you can get out to Joe's and have a great meal for lunch or dinner. But be there for the game on Saturday, half-price apps and taps at your locally owned Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps and Fort Smith. That is a point I want to make. Local businesses will need your help after being closed a day or two in this weather. So eat local the next few days. They're going to need it.
Totally agree. All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Morning Rush. If you missed our conversation with Tom Murphy or any of the mayhem and mischief that Tommy, myself, and Colton got in these last 2 hours, find it in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Matt Jones, Phil Elson coming at you next, halftime. I didn't know how to end that. Hey, that's the tease you were talking about, Tommy.
Yeah.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoot time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats